Hello everybody, welcome to Israel's Church of Living God. I'm Brother Rodney and Brother Caleb will be reading today. We'll be doing a lesson today entitled Racism, the Truth of the Matter. Racism, the Truth of the Matter. I can understand our people hollering racism, because spiritually they don't understand what God has done with his people. And then if you look at it, our people haven't asked ourselves, why are we going through all these things that we're going through and for so long? For 400 years we've been going through oppression and racism and all this, and we haven't even asked ourselves why. Why does God allow these things to happen to us and our people and for such a long time? So we're going to go in the Bible and we're going to show you the truth of the matter. We're going to show you the truth of the matter. And I meant to put that scripture in here. In many things we offend all. And some people might be offended by some of the things that they hear today. But nevertheless, it's in the Bible. We got people that from generation to generation have tried to save our people and tried to get our rights and tried to get our people to try to get the government to treat our people right and treat us fairly. But so far it hasn't happened, has it? So far it hasn't happened. And I'm going to show you why it hasn't happened. And I will let you know right now, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Hallelujah.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. But we have to go through what we have to go through as a people because of who we are. So let's go now. Let's go to Acts the 10th chapter. Acts the 10th chapter. Because some might say that the Israelites, they were sort of, I ain't going to say racist, but they didn't welcome other people into the faith. Or they didn't deal with other nations. So we're going to Acts the 10th chapter, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Pick it up at verse 1. Acts 10 and 1. Go ahead and read it.
There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
Now this guy was a Roman, which is Italian. Go ahead.
A devout man, and one that feared God with all his house. Which gave much alms in the people, and prayed to God always.
And he prayed to God always. So we're not going to deal with all the logistics of this. So let's get down to what we came here for. So let's go down to verse 24. Down to verse 24. Go ahead.
And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and had called together his kinsmen and his near friends.
So now they're going to meet Peter now. They're going to meet Peter. And so now Cornelius done called his kinsmen. Now we looking at Gentiles right here, which we call them Caucasian or white people. Okay? And he's coming to get information from Peter, which is an Israelite. Go ahead and read.
And as Peter were coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him.
Stop right there. Now you see that? We got a Gentile falling down worshiping an Israelite. Which the Israelites are black people. We're going to deal with that. We ain't going to get into the color thing too much, but we're going to show you by scripture that the Israelites, we are the Israelites. And the Israelites are black. So now look, Cornelius falling down and worshiping an Israelite. Go ahead and read.
26. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up. I myself also am a man.
He didn't tell him, get down. Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead and worship me and, show alms to me and all. He just said, get up, because I'm a man just like you are. See, Peter treated him like a man, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read.
27.
But see, we don't get treated like men, do we? Ever since our people came over here, if you want to look on the natural side right now, because we're going to get to the spiritual side of this. But when you look at the natural side, we weren't treated like men. We were treated like cattle and animals when we came over here working.
Teach.
Go ahead and read.
27. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come into another nation.
Now, stop right there. He said, you know it's an unlawful thing for one that is a Jew to keep company with one of another nation. So, it's like, they were separated from everybody else. They were separate from everybody else. Now, some people might look at this, some people might look at this and say there's some type of racism right here, or separatism and all that stuff. Look, Peter and them didn't deal with nobody else, period. If you wasn't an Israelite, I don't care if you were black, white, Chinese, it didn't matter who you were. They didn't deal with you. And that's just the cold hard fact of the matter. But go ahead and read though. What verse you at?
The middle of 28.
Read verse start 28 again.
And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come into one of another nation. But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
So therefore, after this, Peter shouldn't have no problem with no man now, should he? No matter what nation he come out of, right? Because God has showed him not to call any man common or unclean, and I'm sure he showed his brothers this too. So it's not supposed to be no more separation with the races and everything, right? Skip down to verse 34, because God has showed him not to call any man common or unclean. And no man should be looking at no other man now as being common or unclean.
That's right.
Verse 34, go ahead.
Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons.
God is not a respecter of persons. He don't choose this person over that person. He don't choose that person over that. Look, if you work in righteousness, go ahead and read. He gonna tell you.
But in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
Now, if that's good for God, that's good enough for us, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
And it should be good enough for men. Because he said, look, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. And that's the same thing with us. We don't care what color you are and all that. We don't get it off into all that stuff.
Come on, brother.
But we are going to touch on this thing with racism today, because our people need to understand why we are going through the things that we are going through. I talked to about 13 people that I interviewed. And everybody, most of them were saying, we're in the position that we're in because of finances. Because, we poor. I'm like, no, that's not the problem. Well, we got a lot of gang banging and all that stuff in our... That ain't the problem. We're going to show you today what the problem is, because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about what our problem is. And it's right here in the book. We've been telling you all the time, and we've been showing you that it's right here in the book. Our heritage, this is black history right here that we're dealing with. This Bible is. Now, let's go to James, the 2nd chapter. James, the 2nd chapter. This is our history right here in this book, from beginning to the end. And no matter, we have something in common. The black community. I don't care what state you come from, what country, we have something in common. And that is, these things that we're going to read about today have happened to all of us. No matter if you Israelite, no matter if you're a Christian, no matter if you're a Muslim, no matter if you're a Buddhist, Hindu, it don't matter. These things have happened to us in our community. That's what we have all in common. And I'm here to share with you today that the Lord done these things to us.
Yes, sir.
That's why it's so common. Can no man figure out to destroy a people so perfectly? Let's go to James, the 2nd chapter. James 2 and 1. James 2 and 1. Go ahead and read it.
My brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, which respecteth persons. For if there come into your assembly a man with a gold ring, in goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing.
So now he said, one come to you with gold ring. In other words, he got money, he got good apparel on, and another guy come to you, he poor. He said, And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing. You know, the one that's got the good apparel, the one that's rich. You got respect unto him. Go ahead.
And say unto him, sit thou here in a good place. And say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool.
See, this is what he said to the poor person. You know, you sit under my footstool. But the guy that got the money, you come sit right next to me. Or come sit up here in this high place right here. You know, showing partiality. Go ahead and read.
4. Are ye not then partial in yourselves? And are become judges of evil thoughts?
See, when you do these type of things, you have evil thoughts. Now, this is what James is saying right here. He said, when you do these things, you have evil thoughts. Because you're supposed to treat everybody equally, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Verse 8, go ahead.
If ye fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Ye do well.
Now, you know, you might say, well, this is the law. I mean, the law is saying this, and why come people don't abide by this? Well, I'm going to show you today, when it comes to us, this don't apply. It don't apply to us. You know why? Because we are the people of the Lord, and the Lord is punishing us.
Yes, sir.
This don't apply to us. But normally, this is how things supposed to go, don't they? Go ahead and read.
But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin, and are convinced of the law as transgressors.
Go ahead.
For whosoever shall keep the whole law, and yet offend at one point, he is guilty of all.
Now, this is how God has it set up. That how men are supposed to treat each other. How we're supposed to treat our brothers. This is how God got it set up. But does this apply to us?
Come on, make it plain.
Why come this, why come this not happening for us? Let's go to John the 7th chapter. John the 7th chapter. Why is it, other people can come to this country and be given much respect. And we've been here for 400 years and we still can't get our respect. Why is that? John the 7th chapter, verse 24. John 7 and 24. Because this is what men do. John 7 and 24. Go ahead and read.
Judge not according to the appearance.
Isn't that how you are judged? According to your appearance? You ain't even open your mouth. You could be in your car driving and you get pulled over by the police. You understand what I'm saying? And we call that driving while black. You understand? Just because of your skin color. Judge not according to your appearance.
Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
But judge righteous judgment. Everybody's supposed to be judged according to the way they act and the way they carry themselves, right? Not because of the color of their skin.
Come on.
But that's how we have been judged, though, according to the color of our skin. And a lot of us, the way we act, too, but but mainly because of the color of our skin. I'm talking about as a whole. As a whole, ask yourself a question. Why is everybody else that comes over here to this country, they not judged like that? Why is it just us? And we've been here for 400 years. They've fought practically in every war, right? They've fought in practically every war. And we still don't get our respect, do we? But look, soldiers over in the Middle East fighting right now. They died, black soldiers died over there, been dying over there since they started the Iraqi war. Go back to the Civil War when they had the Buffalo Soldiers. You understand what I'm saying? They practically fought in every war, but still, we don't get our respect. We don't get our respect. Well, I'm going to show you why. We're going to show you why. Let's go to Jeremiah, though. Let's go, because he said, you're supposed to judge according. He said, don't judge according to appearance. Don't be looking at nobody and judging nobody like that. Let's go to Jeremiah 12. Jeremiah 12. Jeremiah 12 and 7. Jeremiah 12 and 7. First, before we, let's go to Jeremiah 12 and 7. Yeah, go ahead.
I have forsaken mine house. I have left mine heritage.
He said, look, I have forsaken mine house. I have left my inheritance. Who is his heritage? That's Israel, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read.
I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of her enemies.
Ooh, you see that? He said, I've given my dearly beloved into the hand of her enemies. Go ahead and read.
My heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest. It crieth out against me.
Go ahead.
Therefore have I hated it.
Oh, I thought God didn't hate nobody. He said, my people have cried out against me. You know what? I have hated them. Go ahead, read that next verse.
My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her.
Stop right there. You see what he said? He said, my heritage unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Isn't that how it is with us? All the other nations are like against us or racist towards us. Even people come to this country, they've been here 100 years or 10 years or whatever, and they racist against us. Read that verse 9 again.
My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
The
birds round about are against her.
Go ahead.
Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour.
Now, so he said, my heritage is like a speckled bird.
Yes, sir.
And that's, you know, you can look at us. I mean, everybody else is racist against us, aren't they? And there's a reason. It's not really racism. It's racism when you look on the natural side.
Come on, brother.
But when it's on the spiritual side, it's not really racism.
No, sir.
And then when you understand the natural side and the spiritual side, it becomes a little less hectic for you. You become a little bit more wiser on what's going on. Because see, our people don't know what's going on.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because we don't know who we are. So we're looking at the people and we're looking at, hey man, they racist against us. We're going to stand up for our rights. It ain't, they doing something that God telling them to do.
Teach.
We're going to show you. Just hold on for 1 minute. Let's go. We're going to go to Reader's Digest real quick and we're going to look up the word racism.
This is Reader's Digest Great Encyclopedic Dictionary, page 1109. Racism, a belief that people differ significantly and systematically as in ability.
See, now, wait a minute. Now, we have made, look at all the contributions that our people have made to this country. Absolutely. To the world, really.
Yes, yes, sir.
Look at all the contributions, but people still racist against us, aren't they? Start that over again.
Racism, a belief that people differ significantly and systematically as in ability, intellect, etc.
Now, wait a minute now. When it comes to ability and intellect, we're the ones who got the ability and the intellect. Don't get me wrong now, because the Gentile is very wise. Or I should say smart.
There you go, brother. Yes, sir.
I should say smart, not wise, but smart. Okay, but he is very smart. You understand? Is he wise? Not when it comes to this. But our people are very intellectual, and when it comes to athletics, when it comes to singing and entertainment, who is number one? Us. We are. Look, the number one man to ever, the greatest person to ever live, the Bible said, look, there's none greater than John the Baptist. John the Baptist was a black man. He was one of us. And the greatest man to ever live on the planet, which was Jesus, he was one of us. So now, when it comes to intellect and smart and all that, and, hey, we got it. And we got ability to do just with any other man, and we got the same ability. Right. Did you finish that?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
A belief that people differ significantly and systematically as in ability, intellect, etc., because of racial differences.
Because of racial differences. Go ahead.
Number 2. A belief in or advocacy of the superiority.
See, that's what people think superior over us when they don't understand who we are. They think they're superior over us, but look, when the Lord comes and all the Ku Klux Klan and everybody, when the Lord comes, they're going to see He's black and everybody going to freeze up. Everybody going to be in shock. Finish that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A belief in or advocacy of the superiority or inferiority of a particular group on the basis of supposed racial differences. Racial prejudice.
Racial prejudice. So I just want to give you a good idea of what we talk about when we start speaking about racism. Because it does exist. And, you know, I got some Gentile friends because I talk to Gentiles, I talk to Muslims, I talk to Christians when I was doing my interview. And the Gentile, he's still oblivious to the fact that there's racism. He's still oblivious to it. But we know, don't we? Because we feeling it, don't we? But I'm going to show you why we feeling this. I'm going to show you why. Let's go to Isaiah the first chapter first. Isaiah 1. Isaiah the first chapter. Now, like I said earlier, many things we offend all, but, you know, seems like practically every lesson we do, somebody gets offended. So I just might as well just go ahead and read it like it is. And tell it like it is, right?
Come on, brother.
Isaiah 1 and 2. Isaiah 1 and 2. Go ahead and read it.
Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. For the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
See, they have rebelled against me. Go ahead and read.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Go ahead.
But Israel does not know. My people does not consider.
Now look, we're looking at people now that don't even know who they are. We're looking at people right that don't even know who they are. Just like our people. Ask them, say, look, where we come from? Well, we come from Africa. What part of Africa? How is it that everybody else got a country and you always want to say, people always want to say a continent when they're talking about us? And then too, ask yourself a question. How is it that everybody else has a country but us? Why is that? So he said, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people don't even consider. They don't even consider who they are. You know why? Let's go to Romans the 11th chapter. I'm going to show you why. Romans 11. Romans 11, and we're going to pick it up at verse 7. Romans 11 and 7. Let me show you why they don't even consider who they are. Romans 11 and 7. Go ahead and read it.
What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for? But the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Now wait a minute. Now we talking about the people who don't know who they are, and they blinded. That one that called himself a Jew, he'll tell you in a minute he a Jew, don't he? Won't he? But this people right here who the Lord talking about, though, he said, look, they don't know who they are, and they blind. Go ahead and read, though.
Verse 8. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear until this day.
Ooh. He gave them eyes that they can't see and ears that they can't hear, even until this day.
Yes, sir.
Now look now, because most of us are blind. It's just a few of us, ain't it? And then the rest of the Israelites think we crazy. Because they're Israelites, they just don't know it.
Teach.
Go ahead and read.
And David saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and recompense unto them.
Go ahead.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always.
He said, let their eyes be darkened that they can't see. And most of our people, their eyes are darkened, aren't they?
Come on.
They think it's the white man. They don't understand that. Look, the one that called themselves Jews, first of all, he the one who had the slave ships. Second of all, the one that called himself the Arab, he is the one who was trading the slaves for 1,400 years.
Right.
But everybody want to blame stuff on the white man. But look, the white man ain't the only one that had us in slavery. But go all over the world. The black people are taking the slavery all over the world.
That's right, brother. Teach.
And he didn't have, most of the ships were had by the one that called themselves Jews. Wake up. Wake up. Still running around talking about the white man this and the white man that. When you got a bigger problem. You got a bigger problem. Your problem ain't the white man. You got a bigger problem. Your problem is the Lord. That's your problem. Knowing who you are and knowing who your God is. That's what our problem is right there. So he said, he gave some sight, but the rest were blinded, right? Let's go now. Let's go to Isaiah the 42nd chapter. Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42, and we're going to pick up at verse 18. Isaiah 42 and 18. Go ahead and read it. Because you think because a lot of people get arrested, you think that's the white man doing that, don't you? You think that it's racism. On the natural side, you think that if you don't have no spiritual understanding, though, right?
That's it, brother.
And that's what we're here to give you, really, is some spiritual understanding.
Teach.
This is why you're going to jail all the time. Brothers and sisters, Isaiah 42 and 18, read it.
Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I have sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant.
See, our people are blind, just like Paul told you in Romans, right? Our people are blind. He said, who is blind but my servant, or deaf, blind and deaf? That's something, ain't it? You really lost. Blind and deaf? He said, who is blind, my servant, deaf, a message that I have sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant. See, perfect, you can't tell the person that's perfect, some can't. Just like a brother used to say, you pouring water in a full bucket. You can't tell them nothing. But go ahead and read. But you're wondering why all these things are happening to our people. But you won't open up your eyes to see. You won't open up your ears to hear. Go ahead and read.
Seeing many things, but thou observest not.
See, you seeing many things, but you observing not. All the things that's going on with our people. You done learned some of the things in grammar school and in high school about black history. You have seen what's been going on. A lot of us have seen pictures and video of people getting hung and all of that stuff, haven't we? Seeing all this, ain't even asked the question, why is all this stuff happening to our people? And why is God allowing all these things to happen to us? Ain't even asked the question. Seeing many things, but thou observest not. Opening the ears, but thou hearest not. Go ahead.
The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
Oh, he going to magnify the law and make it honorable? Go ahead and read.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared and hold.
Go ahead.
And they are hid in prison houses.
Ooh, you thought the white man was doing this to you, didn't you? You understand? You think, white man doing this every time we get together, they want to arrest us. That ain't the white man doing this to you, Israel. This is your God doing this to you.
Teach.
That's who's doing this to you. He said, but this is people, he said they robbed and spoiled. What do you mean robbed and spoiled? You go into the black neighborhoods and see how high the prices are when it comes to the food and clothing and everything, and then go in another, like a Hispanic neighborhood, and see how cheap it is. Why is everybody robbing you? You think the Korean dude, he was doing it, wasn't he? When you go over there to Old Halsted and everything in Chicago, you thought that was Korean dude doing that to you. This is God doing this to us. He has robbed and spoiled and stabbed and hold and hid in prison houses. Go look at our penal institutions and see how many blacks in there versus everybody else. How is it that we 13% of the population, we're the minority in this society, but we're the majority in jail, in prisons? You ain't stop and ask yourself this why? You haven't stopped and asked why? Go ahead and read.
Therefore pray, and none delivereth.
He said, therefore pray. God is going to have people praying on you. You think it's racism. But God is having people to pray upon you.
Make it plain, brother.
Because of what our forefathers wouldn't do and what our people will not do now. And that is keep God's law. So he said, you know what? I'm tired of them. I'm going to show you I'm tired of them. I'm going to come and get them, and we're going to cast them into slavery all over the world. And we're going to make them a prey. Everybody's going to pray upon them. How is it that we don't have no big stores in our neighborhood? We've been here for 400 years. We don't have no big black stores. You understand? No big, like Jewels or something. Why is it that all these years we've been here? Because we are people robbed and spoiled, snared in holes and hid in the prison house. We are for a prey. Go ahead and read.
Therefore pray and none delivereth, for a spoil and none saith restore.
How come in all these years you had Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you name them. Why hasn't nobody delivered us from this condition that we are in? Yeah, sure, we get a right to vote, but they don't mean nothing really. Because we know who put, even when you look at the president, we know who put the president in office. It was a Gentile. Because they outnumber everybody, don't they? None delivereth and none going to restore. Why haven't we been restored? We still waiting on our 40 acres and a mule. We still waiting on this, aren't we? You know, we had a sister in Chicago talking about reparations. What happened to the reparations? You don't hear nothing about no reparations now, do you? Why? Because this is the people robbed and spoiled, snared and hold in hidden prison house, none delivered for a spoil, and none said restore. Haven't nobody restored us yet, have they? Go ahead and read some more.
Who among you will give ear to this? Who would hearken and hear for a time to come?
Go ahead.
Who gave Jacob for his spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord?
The Lord done this to us. We are Jacobites.
Yes, sir.
Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and that's what our name is now, Israel. And everybody in the Bible, that's what's an Israelite. You see on Isaiah, you don't see it with no last name, do you? You don't see Jeremiah with no last name, do you? Why? Because they all named were Israel. And that's what our name is, Israel.
That's it, brother.
He said, who among you will give in to this and will hearken for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord? Why?
He against whom we have sinned.
He against whom we have sinned,
For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law.
Ooh. And then, you know, you got guys talking about Million Man March, which I don't have nothing against that. 20 years ago, did it do us some good? I don't see it, but some people probably do. Fine. You had a Million Man March October the 10th. Farrakhan, hey, fine. But have we been restored, though? We haven't been restored. You can march. We have been marching. We have been fighting. We have been doing some of everything to get our rights in this country, and we still haven't gotten them, have we? Guy walking down the street, he done went into the store, whatever he did in the store, and then the police come out. He ain't killed nobody, nothing like police come out and shoot him dead. How many times do we hear about black people get killed, and then everybody want to try to turn a blind eye to it? Now you got this organization called Black Lives Matter, which I don't have no problem with that neither. Because everybody want to shout now when they're being killed by black people. What about black people killing black people? Why ain't nobody shouting about that?
That's right. That's right.
You know, I don't want to go too far, too deep with this, but you know, this is a touchy subject for me. Because we talking about Black Lives Matter, and they do. But what about blacks killing blacks? What about that? That matters too, don't it? Why haven't all our big so-called wise men, why haven't they all gotten together and said we're going to have a black summit, we're going to go to each state and each community and deal with the black people, we're going to handle the black problems in these communities? Why haven't they done this? You know why? Because who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord against whom we have sinned? Why? For they were not walking his ways, neither were they obedient to his law. Ain't no one going to restore us. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Martin Luther King, all of these were great men, don't get me wrong. Farrakhan, all these are great men, but who have restored us though? Nobody. We still getting shot down in the street, aren't we? We still haven't gotten our rights, and we're not going to get our rights in this country, and I'm going to show you why. Because the Lord just told you by the mouth of Isaiah, none's going to restore, didn't he?
Yes, sir. It's written.
Now, you know, don't get mad at me. Just check out the book. Hosea the fourth chapter. Hosea the fourth chapter. Because we finished that, didn't we?
No, sir.
We didn't. Go ahead and finish it then.
Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger, and the strength of battle.
Go ahead.
And it hath set him on fire round about.
See, God done this to us. He has set him on fire. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and his strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about.
Yet he knew not.
Our people don't even know. We don't even know what's going on. We haven't even asked the question, why are all these things happening to us, especially for so long in a country that we've been in for 400 years. We done fought all the major wars in it and everything.
Come on.
But why can't we get our respect? And why can't we get our equal rights? It has set him on fire round about, yet he laid it not. Yet he knew it not,
And it burned him. Yet he laid it not to heart.
Haven't even laid it to heart. That is really something, ain't it? Just going about our daily work, our daily day doing what? Complaining. Ain't that what we do? We good at that, aren't we? Yeah. We complain all day, don't we? It is always somebody else. It ain't never us. But today we're gonna take a good hard look at ourselves, man. A good hard look at ourselves. Let's go now. Let's go to Hosea the fourth chapter. Hosea the fourth chapter. Because it's a reason for the things that have happened to us. You think God would just let all these things that have happened to a people for all these years and give them no regard at all? God is not like that.
Come on.
Hosea 4, and we're going to pick it up in verse 1. Hosea 4 and 1. Now look at what they were doing in the land. And look at what God is telling us right here. Hosea 4, pick it up in verse 1. Go ahead.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Go ahead.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
Isn't that what we got going on right now?
Yes, sir.
In this land?
Yes, sir.
You understand? Our church should be full on the Sabbath, shouldn't it? But yet, they are full on Sunday. Why? Because there is no knowledge in the land. No knowledge of God in the land. In Israel, he's the main one, ain't he? Say, Israel, your preachers like the foxes in the desert. Go ahead and read.
By swearing and lying and killing and stealing.
Look, he said by swearing and lying and killing. Isn't this what our people doing now? Even against each other. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. Back at 2. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery. They break out and blood touches blood.
Oh, you mean that black on black racism?
Yes, sir.
But that's what I call it. They call it black on black crime, but it's black on black racism to me. Brothers against each other, brothers killing each other. Where is your signs for the black on black crime? Or the black on black racism? Don't Black Lives Matter when it comes to us among ourselves?
Yes, sir.
Shouldn't it matter then? But we don't see no rallying call by our so-called leaders, no rallying call for us saying, look, we need to stop killing each other. Because we kill more of each other on a daily basis. The police kill probably all year.
That's right.
White, black, I don't care what color police are. Now, like I said, they got this movement, which I don't have no problem with, Black Lives Matter and everything. Yeah, but okay, where's your movement for us? Us black people that's killing each other. Where's the movement at? Go ahead and read.
6.
Skip down to verse 6, yeah.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Oh, that's why we were destroyed. So it ain't the white man then, is it? It ain't the Korean guy. It ain't the Mexican people. It ain't none of them, is it? He said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And that's what our problem is. We don't have no knowledge of self. We don't have no knowledge of who our God is. We don't have no knowledge of nothing. Go ahead and read.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Go ahead.
That thou should be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
He said, seeing that you have forgotten the law of your God, I'm going to forget your children. Here we are. Here we are. Because all of those things that the Lord had prophesied that was going to happen to the children of Israel are happening to us. They are happening to us. Skip down to verse 12. Skip down to verse 12.
My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms have caused them to err.
The spirit of whoredom has caused them to err,
And they have gone a whoring from under their God.
And they have gone a whoring from under their God. That's what our problem is. We have went backwards.
Yes, sir.
We have went away from our God. Our people as a whole don't even know who our God is. Our God is God.
Amen.
Teach.
And we don't even understand that much. Our God is God. The God that created this world. And this man. I don't care if this man Gentile, Hamite, he created us all, didn't he?
Yep.
From one blood. Let's go to Judges. Let's go to Judges because he said blood touching blood. Let me just show you how much blood we shed among each other. Let's go to Judges, the 12th chapter, Judges 12. Now this is the children of Israel during the times of Jephthah, and they were fighting against each other. And look at how many people died at this time amongst the children of Israel. Judges 12 and 1, Judges 12 and 1, go ahead.
And the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together and went northward and said unto Jephthah, wherefore passest thou over to fight against the children of Ammon? And didst not call us to go with thee? We will burn thine house upon thee with fire.
Now these are Israelites right here. They say, you know, why did you tell us you was going to fight against the children of Ammon? You should have called us. We're going to burn your house as Jephthah with fire. Go ahead and read.
And Jephthah said unto them, I and my people were at great strife with the children of Ammon. And when I called you, ye delivered me not out of their hands. And when I saw that ye delivered me not, I put my life in my hands and passed over against the children of Ammon, and the Lord delivered them into my hand. Wherefore then are ye come up unto me this day to fight against me?
Now he said, now this is children of Ephraim. These are Israelites fighting against Jephthah, which is an Israelite, and his people. Go ahead.
And Jephthah gathered together all the men of Gilead and fought with Ephraim.
Now they fighting against each other. Gilead, that's another tribe right there. Right? And they fighting against Ephraim. Go ahead and read.
And the men of Gilead smote Ephraim. Because they said, ye Gileadites are fugitives of Ephraim. Among the Ephraimites, among the Manassites.
Those are Israelites. Go ahead.
And the Gileadites took the passages of Jordan before the Ephraimites. And it was so that when those Ephraimites which were escaped said, let me go over, that the men of Gilead said unto him, art thou Ephraimite? If he said, nay.
He said, now look, let me go over to Jordan. Now this is what the Ephraimites were saying to the Gileadites. Let me go over Jordan. He said, you Ephraimite? Yeah. But if he said nay, go ahead.
Then said they unto him, say now, Shibboleth.
He said, if you are Ephraimite, then say Shibboleth. If thou art not an Ephraimite, say Shibboleth. Go ahead.
And he said Shibboleth.
And he said Shibboleth. He didn't say Shibboleth. He said Shibboleth, but now you got to say Shibboleth if you want to pass through Jordan. Because look, these are all Israelites. But Ephraim and Gilead, they had strife against each other, right? So now Ephraimite, he want to pretend to be a Gileadite or of another tribe, he got to say Shibboleth. So this guy said Shibboleth. Now what happened to him? Go ahead.
And he said Shibboleth, for he could not frame to pronounce it right.
So he could not refrain to pronounce the word right. What happened?
Then they took him and slew him at the passages of Jordan.
Ooh, see what they did? Now this is Israelites killing Israel. They killed another Israelite right here. Look how many people died. Go ahead.
And there fell at that time of Ephraimites 42,000.
And there fell at that time of the Ephraimites 42,000. These are Israelites that died at this time though.